Hi there everyone, my name's Rosie Wood and I'm a real witch. So what is a real witch? So basically speaking, a real witch is someone who practices witchcraft. Someone who seeks to manipulate the energy of the universe in order to create a desired outcome. This is normally done through spell work. So spell work is a combination of all or some of words that are spoken with intent and correspondences. So for example, this could be herbs, it could be colours, it could be smells, it could also be crystals. In spell work you tend to have a lot of correspondences that help to act as a form of self-programming to aid whatever spell you're trying to do. So for example, if I wanted a spell for self-love, if I was feeling quite down and I wanted to just increase how I felt about myself, I would probably use a red candle to promote love. I would use some rose quartz, I would get any herbs that kind of resonated with me. I would have smells like rose going on. I would probably like some rose incense, maybe get a rose essential oil, and I would write out a spell that spoke to what it was I was trying to do. So witches normally have a deep connection with nature. They will see nature as somewhat divine, usually. Now, you can have witches from all sorts of different religions. You can have atheist witches as well. The kind of witch that I am, I see nature as the divine, and that tends to be the norm throughout modern witchcraft. There's some form of magic in a lot of different religions, but really the magic that I'm talking about is through modern witchcraft. Witchcraft can also be thought of as a kind of self-programming. So if we go back to the self-love spell that I used as an example, that as well as seeking to manipulate the energies within the universe to promote your self-love, with all the correspondences that you're using, that also helps internally for you to self-program yourself to see yourself in a different way. So you will probably be quite affected by everything that's going on around you. So when you're sitting in that space and you're meditating and you're repeating a self-love mantra over and over again to yourself with these beautiful crystals, these rose-smelling incenses or essential oils, whatever you have, that will all help to reprogram your own mind and therefore make the spell more effective. So it's not all about changing the outside world, it can also be about changing your internal thought processes on kind of an unconscious level. So most witches see nature as a divine force and they will worship it to some degree. Now some witches worship Mother Earth as the divine, and some witches do that as well, but they also work with deity. Now this can kind of span across pantheons. I mean, you've got loads of different ones. You've got your Norse, you've got your Celtic, Roman gods, Greek gods, there's just your African, you've got loads of different types of deities. Now some witches tend to kind of pick and choose between them. Some just work with one pantheon, some just work with one deity. It's completely depending on the individual, and again, as I said, some work with none. Some witches also work with familiars, so they're animals and animal archetypes. Some witches also work with spirit guides. Some witches work with angel guides, if that's something that you're into. Some witches work with their ancestors quite heavily. A lot of modern paganism and witchcraft is heavily focused on ancestors and where your heritage kind of came from and all that sort of thing. But generally speaking, the broad umbrella definition of someone who is a witch is someone who practices witchcraft, and that is just casting spells. So if you cast spells, you are a witch, in my opinion, but it's completely down to the individual what they want to identify as. So if you cast spells but you don't want to class yourself as a witch, fine. If you want to class yourself as a witch because you've got a deep connection to nature and you just feel witchy, honestly, I'm not going to stop you. That is completely up to you. Go for it and have fun. So witchcraft and paganism tends to get a bit kind of mixed up, and I think that's because a lot of witches are pagan and class themselves as such. So a pagan isn't necessarily a witch. A witch also isn't necessarily a pagan, but most of them are. So paganism tends to be your series of beliefs, whereas witchcraft tends to be what you actually do and practice. Now within your series of beliefs, say you were into Asatru, it's the Norse religion. With Asatru you can practice that without doing any kind of witchcraft, but you can also incorporate witchcraft into that if you choose to. So witchcraft tends to be what you actually do, and the paganism element tends to be what you believe. So the deities that you worship, what you believe is the divine, what you feel in your heart. So now I'm just going to talk a little bit about what witches are not. Now, most people watching this will probably know, but I feel like if a few people who don't really know anything have come to this video, I just want to clear these things up. So witches are not in any way evil. Now in every single kind of belief system or group of people, not just in belief systems, you will get bad people. Unfortunately that is just the way of the world. Some people are good, some people are bad, some people, most of us, are kind of somewhere in between, and it depends on the day and whatever. So I can't categorically state that there are no witches that are just not nice people. There are, and I've actually met some, but that doesn't mean that all witches are evil in any way, shape or form. Most of us just have baths with essential oils in and repeat mantras to ourselves. It's really nothing that freaky. And another thing I want to clarify about witchcraft is that it's nothing like you see it in the movies. We are not delusional people who believe that we can wave a magic wand at someone and because we were born a certain way they will turn into a frog or anything like that. It's much more nuanced. Real magic is much more nuanced than that. It's much more about self-programming and subtle manipulation, more so than click your fingers and something happens. Oh, and also, everyone who is a witch who's watching this is going to know what I'm going to say, but we don't worship the devil. Like, I literally don't know a single witch, and I know a lot, don't know a single one that even believes in a devil. So, yeah, that was that. Right, so I really hope that you enjoyed this video and found it illuminating in some way. I am going to make more videos that kind of go into all these topics in a lot more detail, so please like and subscribe and stay tuned for lots more information on witchiness, witchcraft and all that wonderful stuff. Okay, thank you for watching.